Hi everybody, welcome to Ledger Live on Wednesday, February 25th. I'm Joe Braun. I remember back in college during the 1970s standing on top of a bus watching 5,000 students protest at the State House because of tuition hikes. The scene turned ugly when some of the students took the caps off the state troopers who were guarding the building and tossed them around the crowd like frisbees. Troopers didn't like that and they responded with their billy clubs, and then the place went absolutely nuts. People were running around State Street, they were being chased by police dogs. It was just really wild. I was reminded of that crazy scene last week when students seized a cafeteria at New York University. But that was nothing compared to the war moratoriums and the civil rights protests of the 1960s. Yesterday marked the 40th anniversary of a famous protest that happened at Rutgers, Newark. Students took over a building to protest the lack of minorities on campus. Here's a look back at what happened and why.
We felt we were jeopardizing our careers or our education, and also there was always the hint, based upon what had happened in '67, that we could be violently reacted to by the governmental forces.
Now, Star Ledger columnist Bob Braun covered that protest 40 years ago, and he's going to join us on the phone. I spoke to him earlier today. He's covering a hearing in Washington, D.C. Bob, can you tell us why was this event so significant in the history of Rutgers University?
It was significant because it was the first time the university broke free from a kind of lockstep reliance on traditional measures of college admissions. Rutgers did it by the numbers, to a certain extent it still does, but back then in the 60s, you either had the numbers, SAT and writing class, or you didn't. And if you didn't, you didn't get in. And that was as true of Rutgers Newark as it was with New Brunswick.
Also, I'm a little surprised that some of this didn't get lost in the greater struggle over the war moratoriums, over the Vietnam War. There were protests, as you know, on campuses around the country. Why did this get so much attention?
It got a lot of attention because it was the first time, one of the first examples of taking the spirit, if you will, of what happened in 1967 and 66 in other cities, and applying it to something practical. I mean, it's one thing to go out on the streets and protest. It's quite another to demand that a university almost 200 years old, or just 2 years shy of being 200 years old, change its way of living. Also, what you have to understand is in '67 in New Jersey, specifically, the new Chancellor of Higher Education had begun EOF, an Education Opportunity Fund. This was 2 years before what happened in Rutgers Newark occurred. And Rutgers was extraordinarily slow in signing on to this program, which was aimed at increasing minority and poor enrollment at the university.
And what was the mood on not only the Rutgers Newark campus, but campuses around the country regarding race relations?
Well, there had been sit-ins, there had been takeovers in New York, in the City University of New York. There had been events like this in other areas throughout the country. This was the beginning of a movement. That was called back then open admissions, although it certainly wasn't open admission.
And so this was something going around the country then?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for adding some perspective to this.
Okay, Jim.
All right. Take care. Now, the upshot of what Bob was talking about is that today Rutgers is one of the most racially diverse campuses in the country. But have race relations really changed? We're getting a lot of comments about this on our blog based on the story that we wrote today in the Star Ledger. Just want to read one to you. Here's what one blogger had to say. His name is Plebeo. I know that the Rutgers Business School full-time MBA program prefers students that come from abroad, probably because they pay a higher tuition. Once I started the program, what shocked me the most was the fact that aside from myself, there was only one other Hispanic in the Newark MBA full-time program. Including myself, there were only 2 Hispanics in a class of approximately 130 students, the majority of whom were in the USA with a student visa. So still today, there's a lot of controversy about whether race relations really have improved. If you have a comment for us, by all means, log on to nj.com and check us out at Ledger Live at starledger.com. Let us know what you think. Until next time, that's a wrap on Ledger Live. Take care.